Welcome to Talk to Them. I'm your host, Kennitha Wade.
And I'm your other host, Renauda Mitchell.
And today you get us.
You get us.
Yes. Mother's Day. It's Mother's Day.
It is.
I almost forgot for a second.
Listen.
Even though I woke up to all these Mother's Day texts and I'm like, oh, that's so sweet.
I was sitting here like, why do people keep texting me? Why does my phone keep dinging?
Right.
But I was like, oh, I felt rude for a second, even though nobody knew that happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's Mother's Day. I was laughing. My kids, they were trying to have this like private conversation, but one is in the front seat, one is in the back seat. We're driving down the street yesterday, and they're like, why is everybody out here on the corner selling flowers and stuff? I was like, well, some people celebrate Mother's Day,
Yeah.
And they were like, I know, but it's so many. I'm like, well, people capitalizing on it.
Yeah, people drive different directions.
Right. And they see stuff like, oh, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't got anything yet. I want to get something for my mom or a mother or something.
Right.
And so they were just going back and forth. So they were trying to devise a plan. And I'm trying to ignore them because I know what they're doing. Right. But I'm like, okay. And so they're like whispering. And I'm like, I'm trying to really ignore them so I don't hear their plans. But they wanted to leave the house to go to a store, but they didn't have a way to get there. And they were like, they was going to walk. And then they was like, well, wait, we can call Dad. So they called Dad. And Dad was doing something. He's like, I don't know why your kids keep calling me. He was telling me this later. And I said, well, I think that because tomorrow is Mother's Day, they were trying to figure something out. He was like, okay, well, they better figure it out. You're their mom.
Right.
My mom.
Oh, like you ain't my mom.
It's job to figure it out with them. And I was like,
okay.
I was laughing yesterday. I was just cracking up because my mom is no longer here. Not to say I don't have mother figures. I have a lot of mother figures in my life that, I'll reach out and say, Happy Mother's Day. But I don't have to do a whole lot.
Yeah.
And it don't have to be a big old thing for me. You can give me some free time. Let me sleep or something and I'll be good.
It's funny because I was having a very similar week with Renauda. She kept being like, can you take me to the mall? I'm like, for what? Like, you got other stuff you need to do. Clean your room, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, Mom, can you please take me to the mall? Like, da-da-da-da. And I'm like, why is she sweating going to the mall? And then it clicked at like 4 o'clock in the morning. No, 1 o'clock in the morning when Donald came downstairs and was like, Mom, I just want to tell you Happy Mother's Day. And I was like, oh, thank you. And everybody's like, oh, yeah, it is Mother's Day. And then so they said Happy Mother's Day. By this time, Renauda is done with me because she was like, well, what time does the mall close? I said, Renauda, the mall been closed. Then she got all sad. And then she went to her room. And I'm like, why is she like tripping about going to the mall? Then I was like, oh, she's trying to get me to take her so she can get Mother's Day stuff without telling me this.
Right.
I'm like, you could just tell me because like you said, my mom's not here. So I have a love-hate relationship with this day. It's still nice being acknowledged by my kids. But like you said, it ain't got to be nothing all super big or nothing like that. And really, if y'all just clean up stuff without me asking, maybe cook one of the meals in a day. I guess it's not even that deep
it's
for
the
me.
Little things.
Right. Let me sleep without mom. Because they don't ever want nothing. It's mainly, Renauda wants to tell me a dad joke. And Donald wants to do this. I'll be like, you've been taller than me. That's old. But apparently I'm not alone when it comes to boy moms when they shoot up over you. And they don't stop, apparently. That's what I heard.
Girls don't either.
Oh. See, I'll never experience that with a girl because mine's going to stay your height.
Whatever. My kids every day. My son come home and like, he put on some shoes. She brought home some shoes for them that somebody had. And they're all these nice shoes. And so some of them have like a really big heel on it. And G put them on. He's like, ooh, I'm taller than you now. No, you're not. he can't wait to be. And I'm like, I hope that you are taller than me because I'm not very tall. So,
Mm-hmm.
But then I tell Nevaeh, but I think you're stuck. She's shorter than me, and she's like, this is not fair.
Like, that's how Renauda feels.
That's
like,
life.
She's like, no, I'm gonna get tall. You're tall. My dad's tall. I'm like, yeah, but the women on his side of the family don't go past 5'5".
Mm-hmm.
And I'm tall. Yeah, my dad was tall. My mom, she wasn't super short, but she was short. But, I got a great granddaddy that was 6'8", and a few other members in my family that were that tall. And then, most of the dudes are super tall. It's only a couple women that are tall, but I was like, you didn't get past that baton. I'm so sorry. You were definitely going to be short. She gets pissed off. And Donald he did that same thing. He couldn't wait. When he realized he was getting my height, before it was this, it was like, first of all, you're cheating by putting your shoulder up to mine. But that don't mean nothing anyway. So then the day where he really could, he was so annoying when he finally could do that and was really taller than me. He walked around like somebody said, you know what, Donald? You don't ever have to work again in life. Here's $500 billion and you get to do whatever you want to do forever. And, you can buy anything, go anywhere. Nobody's going to cause you any, like, it was like he just got the world's award. Yeah, no. Like, okay. But we knew you were going to be tall. At least taller than me. Oops.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was funny. I got to take her to the store.
I feel bad for him because I'm like, well, I know they want it to be a secret, but Dad don't really care about taking him to the store. Y'all got to figure it out. So I'm like, do I need to take him to the store? I don't know. I don't care what y'all. Again, we don't have to do any. It could be.
I promise you, I'm going to organize the rest of the stuff I was organizing. I'm going to do that. Oh my God, my living room looked so crazy when I was cleaning out this closet and organizing, decorating stuff and each show's stuff and like just going through this closet because the last couple of events I was tired afterwards and I came in, I threw everything in that closet and I was like, okay, now stuff's starting to come out the closet. My friend came up from downstairs and was like, what is going on in here? My living room is decent size, but it looked like you couldn't walk through there. But it was because I had to have different tubs out to separate and condense other stuff. And we have this 3-drawer thing that like cracked or something like that. Donald told me it cracked, but he don't know how it cracked, but it's cracked. Whatever. So I'm like trying to decide, am I going to keep the drawers and just throw the broken part away and kind of use those to organize on a flat space that has like cubby space. So as I'm doing that, I'm throwing those around, but it's like different areas of this is stuff I'm tossing out. This is stuff I'm keeping, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, just, trust the process. Like it looks crazy, but it's going to be, now my living room looks like a showroom again.
Okay.
It was stressful for a minute though.
I bet. I started taking my stuff downstairs. I created my little art space. So the room when my dad came to the house for his final days, we put all his art in this room downstairs that we don't really use. And so it's all hanging up. And I was like, I'm just going to make that my art space. I just wish I had a way to block it off and make sure the kids couldn't access it. Because I won't say they. It's just one. There's one kid. She likes to mess with everything. And she gets into stuff without permission. And she'll leave it open or she'll leave it out or she'll just ruin stuff, because she likes to play and see what it does. And I'm like, please don't mess with my art stuff. Just leave my art alone.
Well, why don't we go build a door?
Well, it's a big room and it has those 4 sliding doors that can come together to lock it, but they're not really lockable.
When you go in that one space and then go that way?
By the back door. So I either need to build a wall and then put a door there or somehow lock those sliding doors.
Okay, well, let's do that. Let's build a wall and then build a door. It sounds like fun.
I've been watching all these building shows.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't do it. It just sounds like work. It's like my bathroom. I need to get stuff done.
But maybe if we do that, it'll motivate us to be like, let's go over to the other house and do that.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm about to move in over there and just start working.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into our topic for today. Our topic for today is getting used to life's transitions and how they can be challenging at times, but how you make it work. And I do feel like that's a big thing for at least 40s. I mean, it's been very, very clear that this is a big transition from previous years to, I know for me, like really just focusing on myself. Regardless of whatever brought on the ability or the idea to focus on myself, but just focusing on myself and then realizing how much you need to focus on yourself.
Yeah.
And how it's okay. And it feels good, of course. But as I do that, I realized for a long time, you have that imposter syndrome when you're doing something new or when you step into different roles and you kind of question, like, do I really have what it takes to make it in this space? And as I go kind of outside of my everyday activities and job duties and things like that, and I start noticing other people and their roles and their ages and their experiences and I realize that we limit ourselves so much sometimes, and that you see somebody and it's like, okay, I know now if this person can do it, I absolutely can do it because I have
no knock to them, but
right. No, yeah, no knock to
but
them.
like I know,
but it's just a realization. Like I'm selling myself short by continuing to tell myself the things that I tell myself. So I think I'm ready for a different kind of transition and really trying to figure out what is my next step because I'm ready to elevate for sure. But to move on into a role that definitely pushes me, it's gonna be uncomfortable. And I feel like I'm gonna go in not knowing exactly what I'm doing, but I feel confident in the ability to do it. And the more and more I kind of, I don't want to say psych myself out, but just kind of talk to myself about it, the more confident I feel in the ability to just go for it.
Yeah. I feel like 40s is clearly going to be 10 years of transitions, and it's pulling you out of your 30s and getting you ready for your 50s apparently. Because like it's kind of been a theme of our podcast. We talk about the transitions a lot and this, that, and the other, but that focusing on me one has been like a flashing light in my face the last couple of weeks. And I think I was applying it to like one specific space, but I need to apply it to all my spaces. But I think I needed to apply it to one space in order to realize that I needed to apply it in all spaces. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, had I not applied it in this particular area and then felt the change of, like you said, it feels good. Like, for a second, it feels selfish. It feels a little uncomfortable and a little weird for me because I feel like I'm being mean, focusing on myself, which is really weird to have to reconcile. But once you realize everybody, well, not everybody, because clearly I have to adjust, but you know what I'm saying? Like everybody else, they're focusing on them too. And it's not taken away from how they show up for other people. I won't say it doesn't limit the way that they can show up, but you still show up authentically yourself when you're available. Like when we had that conversation of, no, I can do it. I'm gonna do this because I want to do this, not I'm gonna do this because you asked and there's nothing written in on my schedule right now. But like yesterday, I woke up. It was just wild. Like I woke up and I was like, I'm doing this, 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 and this. And I can't do anything for anybody else until I've at least tackled one of these things and put in a good amount of effort for at least two more. And then I can focus on somebody else's something else. So I was getting in on my stuff and making plans and figuring stuff out, laying stuff out. Then I got up, made the kids lunch. And that's when I started in that closet. And then I was like, you know what? I had been doing this, but this was like the action part of focusing on myself. And because it's a mental shift for me first before I have to be like, no, I need to do this instead of this. Or when this pops up, I got to start doing this instead of this. And then I was like, yep, I need to start organizing this, organizing that, making sure. Because, we're out here doing stuff, right? But I don't feel like I'm doing it. I don't want to say not to the best of my ability, but there's ways to grow, ways to make things easier, ways to, connect differently. And I feel like I'm being more intentional. That's the word, about the things that I'm doing and the ways that I'm doing them. So that's where I'm at, and just this big reflective stage which for my friend is frustrating because I'm an air sign. So us air signs, we are thinkers, and we be in our head, we be trying to figure shit out. And he is an earth sign, and he's like, all you got to do is just bam. And I'm like, no, that's not how that works for me. It doesn't go from idea to this is how I'm behaving now.
Right.
It goes from idea to thought process to laying it out to doing it. That's just how my brain works. But these earth signs and these fire signs be like, no, you just think and just do. Like, no, that's not how that works. Or I don't even think it's a think and just do. It's a think do all at one time for them. So
yeah, there's just idea just pops in their head and boom.
Like, I did this. And you're like, whoa. I'm like, well, how did you get there?
Right. Yeah, not me. I gotta think about every scenario, every obstacle that might come up. You gotta plan for it. Then you gotta see it.
Right.
And then you gotta put it into play.
People like him are like, well, you don't have to do all that, blah, 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 blah. You're overthinking this, that, and the third. You just, if something comes up, you just adjust. And I'm like, no. If something comes up, I have a file in here for what could happen if this happens, and that's what I'm going to do when that thing pops up. But I've seen people successfully move like that. Like, they're like, we just going to do this, and when shit happens, we just going to figure it out. That's good for y'all. But I'm going to think about this.
Me out.
Yes. Yes, and then it makes the situation itself bigger in the moment for me than it would have been if I would have, thought this through. And it also, for me, thinking it through and having all these other scenarios makes something that I didn't think about pop up if it pops up. It's not as bad either, because I'm like, oh, I didn't even think about that. And that's more of the but
right, another file to add to their Rolodex.
Right, of just in case, yeah, because this has never happened before. But yeah, so that has been an interesting transition, and I'm like, I hope people don't feel like I'm making myself distant, but in success, there's times where you have to prioritize you, which is really most of the time you got to prioritize you, and then you got to execute. And sometimes that execution comes with you being by yourself to do these things, or not out on the scene as much to do these things, unless that's where your workspace is.
Right.
So that's where that's my this week's transition.
Yeah.
Well, it's been going on, but it's been active as hell this last week.
My biggest challenge this week with the transition is really trying to get ready for this candle making event. It's happening in 2 weeks from yesterday.
Right.
I just finished my flyer.
Okay.
and I'm kind of okay with it being last minute. I wanted to have that done a long time ago, but at the same time, I'm like, I really want it to be kind of small and intimate. I don't want it to be way too many people to show up. So I'm okay that, flyers are going out now. It's going to happen on May 24th from 4 to 7. And it's going to be candle making. So people will be able to come in. The wax I use is going to be the same. I have either organic white beeswax or organic yellow beeswax. And they're really easy to make candles with. The only thing I'm not sure about is just like the atmosphere. And when candles cure, they should cure in kind of a controlled temperature atmosphere in order for them to cure properly. And I don't know what that's going to look like because we're not going to be in my house in the space that I normally use. So I'm kind of anticipating a lot of, little hiccups that might come up or things I don't think about. But again, it's a transition into actually making an opportunity for people to come out and create the candles that they want to create. And also just preparing some canvases so that if people don't want to take a walk downtown, because it will be downtown at a cafe, then they can paint if they want. Stay in the space and paint a canvas. Of course, that's extra, but it'll be an option. And so really transitioning into that and seeing what that looks like, but also while I'm supposed to be finishing some of these canvases. So a lot of creativity going on at home and creating this space and making it so I'm not so stressed out. But 2 weeks is not a lot of time.
It's not.
It's going to be interesting.
But you're going to be ready. And we'll be there with you.
Yeah, these kids are going to be working. I told them, I said, what you going to be doing during the candle thing? It's like, what you mean? I got to have a job? Yeah, all y'all going to have a job.
Yeah.
You going to have a job. Everybody going to have a job. They're like, oh, yep, you're going to learn how to figure out how much of a scent somebody wants to put in the candle. I'll help you. You're going to do some calculations. You're going to measure. You're going to blend. You're going to pour. Like, okay. Yep.
I'll be on canvas duty.
It's going to be fun.
But see, I volunteered. The kids be like, wait, I got to work? Yeah, mine too. Man, them pop-ups, they used to be like, wait, so I got to, yeah. Then when they made money, but since we was at the mall, they made their little money, their first little change, and was like, we're going to go buy Pokemon cards. I was like, wow, so y'all just abandon your business to go buy Pokemon cards?
Of course, because that's, they see the small picture. Bigger picture.
Oh, they was sad after that. They wanted chili. I was like, oh, do you have chili money? You don't work here anymore, remember? You went to go buy Pokemon. You abandoned your job on your lunch break. It wasn't even your lunch break. That should have been your 15-minute break. And I haven't seen you in hours.
Right.
Like, no. But yeah, they always have a good time when they come and help. So I think it's nice to involve the kids in places where we can involve them.
Oh.
But yeah, that was a transition too, from that part of my life into, like, life looked real different a year ago in a lot of ways. I was just starting the job that I'm at. We just had our first paint and sip. And it felt good too. It felt good. And I'm like, I'm basking off that energy, but that transition into, like we talked about before, being like, oh, I'm doing this paint and sip, to like, no, I'm putting on this paint and sip. That is a mindset transition. Like, no, you're not just, having or doing, you're putting on, which gives you a different sense of, like, buy-in and like how you show up and how you do the things that you're doing. It's not just not that it was ever like, just throw the stuff over here, but it's really like, okay, like inventory in the moment versus being like, dang, we ain't got no more blue. Like, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. But I don't know. It's interesting. I feel like this is a good topic because I feel like everything is a transition. Anything you talk about could be a transition.
It is. Work, life, relationships, all of it. It's all transition.
Yeah. I think those are the hardest ones for other people, is relationship transitions. They're not as hard for me because I feel like not that, like, if it goes away that I don't want it to go, it wouldn't hurt or something like that. But I feel like I'm more like, okay, well, if that's what you need to do, or I feel it's best if I blah, blah, blah. Those aren't hard transitions for me because I feel like I thought about it. And, I'm okay with this.
I think when it doesn't come out of a place of hate or negativity or, I don't know, things that are like more so challenging, and it's more about a change maybe of circumstance or just kind of realization or coming to terms or something like that. Whatever it may be. I think those transitions are a lot easier to deal with than when it's just something completely negative that's got people all in their emotions.
Yeah, I don't like that because it's not a place where I live. And it'd be like, why can't we just go from, now that's where I switch, right? And I'm like, why can't we just go from this to this? Think new. Like right now, why can't we? Because I don't want to, I feel like that's messy and I don't like it. And
Yes. Yeah.
like we all understand the assignment. Let's move forward. We're not gonna cry about it to each
Right.
other all day, every day. We're just gonna peep and move accordingly. Understand and move on, or like whatever. And I'm sorry for the people who need to go through that process, but that is not what I like to do.
It's not a desired process.
Not saying I don't cry about things, not saying that I don't have feelings, because people like to think that, but it's different. And if I'll cry about it, it's going to be randomly. It's going to be to myself. I'm going to think about why I'm crying and it doesn't make sense and blah, 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 and process. But yeah, you even saying that made me like...
those moments are hard. They're challenging. I will say, this is for me, as far as relationships go, this is our 10th year. So this summer will be our 10-year anniversary of marriage. We've been together for 16 years. And that's a long time. I know I hear of people who've been together for 30, 40 years, and I think, that's a long time. But I think my thought process has been forever is a long time. Forever is a long time to be perfect, know, and I think to expect perfection forever is almost unreasonable, and as we live and we grow and we change and we are being honest about who we are and what we want and the things that we desire in life, we got to allow for room for growth. And I think that this last year has been a lot of just that, being comfortable enough to share like true feelings on how you feel, what you want, and things like that. And so I think for us, this 10 years just maybe, I won't say necessarily a recommitment, but just realizing like forever is a long time. And we locked in, and that's not going to change. And but also that, we're different. We're all different. We keep growing and evolving, and it just takes a commitment to each other to keep going through that. But I don't know if I ever imagined I'd be in a relationship this long. And I guess, I don't know. When you go into a relationship, you think that I'm going to be with this person forever, or how long forever really is. But
I think that's the part. Like, you get in the relationship, like, I'm going to be with this person forever or whatever. But, like, forever, you don't think about that until you're like,
right.
Like you said, till you're in the moment where forever is a long time.
Forever is a very long time.
Like, dang, because it's been 10 years and it's not forever yet. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And so many things change, and so many things, we just evolve as people, and we grow and we learn. And, the more emotionally competent, I will say, I become, the more I realize how broken I have been in the past, and kind of getting over that and realizing, sometimes we make life a little more difficult when we don't know better. But the thing is that we don't know. You don't know what you don't know. And when you start to learn, you do better. And you also realize that sometimes life is easier when you acknowledge the emotions that you sometimes run from, or just the things that you've never given yourself the space to kind of process. But yeah, so evolving in relationships has been a thing this last year for me.
Yeah. I feel like I went from like one situation where it was like, yeah, I'm comfortable here, blah, blah, but it wasn't what I wanted. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of naturally fizzled out or whatever. And just being in this journey of being
my Mother's Day cup.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Being in a space where you're around people that naturally fills in those gaps of the things that you've wanted but weren't experiencing, and what that looks like and feels like, and then being like, okay, sometimes you get a new experience just to open your eyes to how things could be, right? Like, you're accepting bare minimum at a job, with a friend, with a relationship, hell, from your kids, from yourself. And then new experiences come around and let you know, like, hey, I got complacent in this because it was easy, or because, whatever. And then it's like, it opens you up to all the possibilities, right? And I feel like that was like the theme of last year. Here's a better option for you with a lot of things, right? And then now this year, and I say this year because I'm talking about the point in time, not necessarily 24 versus 25, but like this time last year, you know, it's like opening your eyes, all these things. And it's like, okay, yeah, I like experiencing that. This makes more sense to me. This has kind of made up my mind of how I want, my life to look, at least, the direction I like it to go in. And then I'm at this point where it's like, okay, now out of all that, what do I take with me into this next part of my transition? Because, my New Year, I do my New Year's on my birthday. I don't do New Year's on New Year's Eve. I mean, like, we kick it or whatever, but like, that's not my New Year. On the earth, New Year is in spring, but like my personal New Year. So around this time is when I start, okay, what is going to be my focus for this next, trip around the sun or whatever. And I think for me, it's that, and I'm saying all that to get back to when you said you were, you've matured enough to have like, those conversations, those hard conversations. And for me, those hard conversations involve feelings. Like, because I've always thought that was stupid. Like, there's no point in this. Let's just bam, bam, bam. But I think, not that I've ever been afraid to have conversations, but it's just the level in which I would have those conversations, and the point of being honest about my complete and total feelings, which is very vulnerable, and I still don't like it. I don't like it at all. But I feel like I can't sit here and call myself like emotionally intelligent and blah, blah, blah. But I refuse to share my feelings because it's none of your business.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, you tell me how you feel so I can plan accordingly, but you don't, you knowing how I feel is not important here. So, but it comes out hella choppy because I'm still working on it. So it's not like, people can sit down and be like, I've been feeling really blah, blah, blah. I'll be like, so, like, okay, you know how, like, it's it's not my smoothest communication, and I'm really good at talking.
There's something I know lately that I pick up on things. Like, I know how I have felt in certain moments. When you feel like, why don't they just do this? I don't understand why they don't just see that this just needs to be done, And you can find those situations any and everywhere. At work, at home, whatever. But then when a person who you feel like that about comes to that realization about, and they say that to you about somebody else. And
you be like,
first thing I want to say, now you know how I feel about XYZ, right? But then I think about it and I'm like, we're going to come back to that one conversation one day.
Because that's happened to you a couple times recently.
Oh, man. I feel like, yes, I do. Yeah, I know exactly how frustrating that is. You just think that, how come you just don't see that this needs to be done? And why do I have to ask you to do it? And then when they do that, it's like, okay, now that I know that you have identified that feeling, I can express to you when that feeling comes about for you so that you can correct it.
Yes.
And then, but then I'm always in my head about, when can we have that conversation? Because you can't have that conversation too close to
when they're
saying it. Because then it's like, I'm trying to take away from this moment you have, and I gotta let you experience it. I gotta let you get past it. But we're gonna come back. I struggle
with that.
We're gonna come back to that.
I'm good to be like, oh, for real? Because
and I'm sure my face and my like, yes.
So now I'm doing that. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Okay.
I totally understand what that
then they'd be like,
like.
What? Nothing.
Yeah. Maybe next time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yesterday I had a moment. Well, I went to see the movie yesterday.
Oh.
Well, no, not necessarily. It was just one of those, you don't like to be like a burden. And yesterday, it became like, I've been waiting to go see this movie, I've been wanting to see Sinners. And there was an opportunity that came about, and Renauda let me know about it, and she signed me up, and I was like, okay. And then G was like, we're going to see Sinners.
That's why we beefing. I forgot to tell you.
You can find out when you watch the podcast. He was like, we're going to see Sinners on Saturday at 7. I was like, okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
I can dig it. And so me and her were actually on the phone when the message came through, and she's like, oh, okay. Like, like forget me, okay?
Right, yeah.
And so I'm not really knowing. I didn't even get anything that you signed me up, but there's nothing that came through my email. And so,
Oh, really?
And so I was like, I don't really know what it means. It just means I'm signed up. But he signed me up, so okay, I don't gotta worry about it. And we get there, and they're like, well, both you have 2 tickets and you have 2 tickets. So I guess what you signed me up for it was all day. You didn't have to pick a time. You could have come at 7.
That's stupid. It didn't say that.
Yes, and the movie theater was not extremely packed. There was a lot of empty seats in there, but it was a good amount of people there. But so, anyways, G gets home and he had a busy day. You know, Friday we had the open mic, and then he went to midnight mic, and then he went somewhere else, and you know he has his evenings, and so it's Saturday, and he been out all day. You know, we did the walk. We did the walk yesterday, the Wealthy Walk. Started at Grant. I didn't get to start at Grant, but it started at Grant. It went all the way to Madison or McDaniels, and then they walked back to Grant. And so I joined them at McDaniels because my kids were determined to make me miss the walk because they didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
And I was like, nope, that's not going to work. We still going to go for the walk. Like either we're going to join them halfway and then on the way back and we could just end it wherever we started. Or we can go to the end. We can walk back to Grant, and then we have to walk back. And they were like, let's just do that. Okay. So we did. But
if I hadn't known that, I could have still met y'all.
They were really determined. They did not want to go on that walk. And I was like, oh, well, y'all still going. They was fine. But so it was a whole day. And I go home, take the nap, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what time. I know that this movie thing is like all day, right? But I don't really know like what exactly is going on with it. Because again, I didn't get the email, so I was only searching for information. So I'm like, well, don't we want to get there early? Because I don't want to get there at 7 and not find a seat. And so he was like, yeah, we should get there a little early. Like, okay. He gets home, he's dog tired. He's so tired. And he tells me straight up, I'm about to fall asleep in this movie.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay. Now, for me, that's, you know, my overthinking self. I'm like, I don't want you to feel like you have to take me to this movie. Now I'm starting to feel like an inconvenience. And this was your idea. I mean, the movie, I've been asking for it, but like this came from you.
Yeah.
So we don't have to go. You can just go take a nap. You know, I know you're tired. It's okay. Like, I'm not gonna make you feel guilty. I don't want to be in that space, you know, when you're irritated and you're tired and you kind of don't really want to do something, but you signed up to do something, so you feel obligated to do it. And I felt like he was in that space. And I was like, whenever we do something and one of us are in that space, it becomes unenjoyable. And I'm like, I don't want to be there. I don't want that for me or for you. So just go ahead and take a nap. And he had a moment, I think he was about to maybe take a nap, and he decided, no, we going. And I'm like, I'm in the car. I'm about to leave. I'm about to go do something else. I'm like, you know, I'm not about to complain about it. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to, you know, but I've been waiting all day. I've been wanting to see this movie. So like, you don't have to go, but I'm going to do something that I feel like doing. And then he's like, we're going. And I'm sitting in the car debating. Is this going to turn into one of those situations where you regret it later? Because you went ahead and went, even though it already felt like the energy was off.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. I'm glad I had to take a minute, breathe, talk to myself. I don't want to be the reason now. Yeah. I don't want it to be my energy that makes it weird. He's saying that he wants to go. He's like, I don't want to force you. I'm like, you're never forcing me. I feel like I'm forcing you. And that's where the problem is. And I don't want it to be that. But we went and he slept. He was asleep the whole movie. So he still ain't seen it yet. And I saw it and it was good. It was a lot of people. And I was happy that we went. Even though I was still the whole time like, am I forcing him to be here? He's like, wake me up if I start snoring. Like,
that's funny. Well, we'll just go see it again. Well, you'll see it again.
Mhm.
I won't miss it again.
We're going to see it a couple times, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
I mean, I still, and it's funny because at the mic, D'Angelo started trying to talk about Sinners, and from several different directions, he was getting cussed out.
Don't you?
Many people.
Don't ruin it. I haven't seen it yet. I will say this. Did I say this to you?
I don't know.
I did not know.
Oh, yeah, you did say that.
It was a vampire movie.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea. And
I don't know how deep it is, but yeah, I found that out after the fact. Even when I seen the previews the first time, I don't think I realized.
I never ever.
Right? The previews don't allude to that.
Not for me.
But you know what? That's how From Dusk Till Dawn was. Have you seen that movie?
Mm-hmm.
When they were doing like the previews and stuff like that, that ending was like, where did that come from? This was not in the previews. So I don't know. That was weird. It's actually one of my favorite movies. I love Quentin Tarantino.
Well, we'll see it again. I got some movie tickets. I signed up for, I do the Cinemark. I do the monthly Cinemark thing.
Yeah.
I get a movie ticket every month for $12 or something like that. And they have built up because I ain't been to the movie. My movie partner over here.
My eye is broken. Temporarily.
No.
And do you call somebody your movie partner when you take somebody else to the movies?
Okay, let me tell. Let's just go here real quick.
Transition into that.
Yeah. So the other day, I forgot about her eye. Yeah, don't judge me. Okay.
She rude.
I was like, I want to go see this movie Sinners. People have been talking about this movie Sinners. I want to see it. I'm a Michael B. Jordan fan. Why not? Let's go see Sinners. So I throw it in this group chat. Hey, y'all want to go see Sinners? They're like, well, maybe. I'm busy this day. Or I'm busy that day. I'm like, okay. Well, I want to go see Sinners. Like, well, can we go see it today? And that day didn't end up working. But I say this to this person over here. She don't respond at all. And I'm like,
I responded in the group when we were talking in the group chat.
I'm not talking about the group chat.
No, but the way you just told that story made it sound like we was in the group chat and everybody was.
Chat, I was like, hey, you want to go see this movie on this day? She didn't say nothing.
I looked at it and I'm like, she know I can't see.
I forgot about her eye.
This shit. Because she want to go see the movie so bad. And then she want to be mad at me because I'm like.
She just don't say nothing. I'm like, at least remind me that you can't see.
No, because if you wanted to go see it
without me. I'm about to. Y'all don't tell me something.
She wanted to go see it. And if she wanted to go see it that bad, I was not going to be the reason that you didn't get to see it when you wanted to see it.
It was like, Kennitha, I still can't see yet. But if you want to go see it. I'm like, oh, I'll wait.
And then you took your husband.
He took me.
Did he? Yeah.
Did
he drive
As a matter of fact, my kids, we never drive anywhere together.
I know. Because you never know what's going to happen with him after that.
But I love it. I love when we do drive somewhere together, even though you don't know how long you're going to be in the car.
Yeah.
And so he's like, we going. I was in my car. And he comes out the house. We going to the movie. And I'm like, do I turn my car off and get out? Okay, I'm going to turn my car off. I'm going to get in the car with him. And it's not going to be a problem. I'm not forcing him to go to a movie with me. And so we go. And we get in there. Well, my daughter, Nevaeh, was at my cousin's house because, she was, anyway. I ain't going to talk about her. But I'm thinking we're going to have to pick her up afterwards, after the movie, before we head home. So I'll call when we get done. My kids don't know where we at because I just got up and left. They was like, where are you going when I came out the room? And I didn't say anything. And so, and Dad hadn't come home yet, or he was in the car, so they didn't know. So I just left. And so I called, Nevaeh, you need us to pick him? Nope, I'm at home. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm glad you found a way home. Cool. My cousin came over, and because my car was at home, everybody thought I was at home. They didn't know I had left.
Oh.
And so she went in my room thinking she was going to wake me up. Went in my room in the dark, feeling around on my bed, but wasn't nobody there.
That's funny.
And I'm like, something must be going on. No.
Is mine?
I think that's yours. Anyway, it was just one of them days. I was like, okay, well, we really went to the movies. We hardly go on dates. And so it felt like a date. Kind of. But he was asleep. But that's okay. He be sleep at home too. It don't matter what. If he going to the movie theater or we watching a movie at home, he's gonna probably fall asleep. And now I feel like how I feel when my kids talk about me, because every time I watch a movie with them, I fall asleep, and then they just talk about me, and I'm like, but I really want to watch a movie with y'all.
I'm like, what the hell? Sorry.
That's okay.
But you did it the other day.
What?
Watch the movie without falling asleep.
Which one?
Remember when was it Nevaeh kept watching you?
Yeah. They be talking about me, so I feel how I be talking about him. That's how the kids be talking about me, and I know how I be feeling. Like, don't be talking about me. Yeah. So I try to be mindful of that and let him, if he tired, he tired. We're gonna watch it again and again, and one day he'll finish the whole thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just takes a while.
Oh, I don't ever want to experience that with him again. Where like he be missing stuff, because that stressed me. I was like, we didn't watch this part of this episode like 15 times. He keeps coming in here, rewinding it and walking off. It's like, you're not gonna see what you just missed if you rewinded it and walked off.
He does that all
Thank you for the breakfast sandwich. But come on, like, sit down, watch the rest of this episode. I'm ready to move on.
TV.
That's annoying.
We talk about G today. He does. G will put something on. He'll be like, "Ooh, I want to watch. You want to watch this?" Like, yeah. And then he'll start cooking or he'll start doing something. So he'll put it on. He'll stand there. He'll watch it for a little bit, and then he'll go in the kitchen. And in his mind, I think he's just gonna be gone for a second. That it's not worth pausing the movie for. Yeah. He gonna be gone for 15 minutes. He gonna come back and rewind it back to where it was before he left, and then he gonna leave again. And it'd be like, you done watched something about 3-4 times. And he still ain't seen it yet. And he does that all the time. That's just what he does.
I mean, it's happened to me a couple times. I feel like that day was the most, I don't know if it's because it was so early and we had to go to work and he just kept doing it. And I think he thought like, oh, well, I'm making y'all breakfast sandwiches. But it was like, what we should have did was every time he rewound it and we should have just paused it
when he walked out.
Yeah, that was crazy. I don't know why I brought that up, but that stressed me out.
I never want to experience that again. That's okay.
It's happened a few times, but that time was the most like, wow. Wait, this is
like
really
watching
what we're
a kid
doing
with ADHD try to get something done.
Yeah, he'd be getting stuff done, but not what he was doing.
That's no different than us. I mean, when you cleaning, I know there's so many people who can identify with it. When you start cleaning, I'm the worst. I will go in the kitchen. I'll start cleaning. I see these dishes in the sink. I want to like stick them in the dishwasher, but then the dishwasher is not empty. Okay, well, I'll put the dishes away. While you're doing that, you run into something that don't belong there. You got to go put it away. So you take it in your room, and then you go in your room, and now you see something else. It's like, oh, well, I need to fix this. And then you see a piece of clothing that needs to go in the wash or something. It's like, oh, yeah, I got clothes in the dryer. Let me go downstairs and get them. And then you go down there, and there's maybe it's not done yet. Or, oh, you got to start another load. Or
somehow there's a cup on top of the washer.
Facts. And it takes you back to the kitchen. And now
right. And you're like, oh, yeah, I was washing dishes. Oh, wait, I got to put these dishes up.
Facts. And you're back like, this is a never ending story, like.
That was to me yesterday. Before he fell asleep in the chair, he was watching me walk back and forth and back. And he was like, what are you doing? Why are you sitting over there now? He's more of a sit in one area and he can focus on cleaning up that area and then moving to the next.
I can't do that.
That's not me. I forgot what I was doing. I went in the kitchen. I literally did that. I went in the kitchen. I'm like, oh, there's dishes in the sink. Oh, okay. I'll, wash these real quick, put them in a dishwasher. So I open a dishwasher. It's full of dishes. So I started putting the dishes up and then I seen something off to the side. I literally just did this. Went and took it in my room. Went in my room and I was like, oh, there's stuff on my bed. Got the stuff off my bed. And then I realized that my plug-in fell out because my bed slides or whatever. I got to get something to stop it from sliding. And it sometimes unplugs the plug-in. And I was like, oh, I need a new freshener for my plug. So I'm looking in the drawer. I'm like, oh, no, wait, those are in the living room. So I went in the living room, plugged it. Then I was like, oh, wait, the one over here might need to be changed too. Then I changed it. And I was like, I'm going to move the air purifier over here. And then went back, forgot that was in my hand still, went in the kitchen because I was thirsty. I was like, oh yeah, I was doing the dishes. I literally did that yesterday.
Mhm.
And apparently that's exhausting for other people to watch. But I got stuff done in multiple rooms by the time I was done.
It's exhausting for me too, because I'd be irritated because I feel like every time I get back to something, I never finished it. It's not all the way done. And then I'm like, why does it take so long to clean this house?
But I was doing this for a while, but I need to get like a cart like the lady had. But this lady who has ADHD, she, like, if she's cleaning her room, she puts this like cart type thing in front of her door. So when she goes to be like, oh, I gotta take this, she's like, oh nope, put it on the cart.
Oh, and it might go in the tub. This is the living room, the kitchen,
Yeah,
in the basement or whatever.
Yeah, I need to like. I was doing that to myself mentally, but then apparently yesterday I was just like, shoom, 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 downstairs, upstairs, to the garage. This, and I was like,
I'm
tired. To do that. Yeah.
Make me a cart. Maybe I need to go to IKEA.
I didn't say that. I did not say that. I did not say that. I'm texting G. I didn't say that.
I need to go to IKEA now because I gotta go buy the cart.
You probably got everything you need at home.
I gotta buy little boxes to organize on the cart for the kitchen, and the living room, and the laundry room, and then the kids' clothes.
That's not what I said. You know, I'm sure you have something at home that you could just throw stuff into and have it outside of here.
Now.
We don't want. Ooh.
Yeah, it's Mother's Day.
Okay. Okay, she's gonna buy herself a cart for Mother's Day.
Yeah, just so I can clean up.
Are you gonna make it or buy it?
Ooh.
If you make it, I have the wheels for the little 3-drawer thing that was broken that I toss. I have 4 wheels for that.
Okay then.
If you want to make it.
See, she helping me. I need to go to Home Depot.
No, you don't.
Do y'all need to go to Home? I need help. I need help. I need to remodel all my bathrooms at one time. And I need to remodel the bathroom in my bedroom. And I'm hoping when I do that, I can fix the bathroom in the hallway without having to go in there and take out all the tile that's on the wall. So I just want to be able to fix the plumbing in the wall. I think that's the problem. And then I need to go downstairs and fix the ceiling that is below the bathrooms upstairs because there was a leak. And then I need to go figure out the bathroom downstairs, why it doesn't get hot. Which means I probably have to take the whole thing out because you can't access any of the plumbing. And that's just in one house. And then I got 2 other bathrooms. I got 5 bathrooms that I need to fix. And I might have a day of service at my house. And anybody who wants to come and volunteer, you are welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll make you something to eat.
Yeah.
I'll give you some iced tea. I'm going to make some tea. Stick it outside in the sun. Is that how you make tea?
My grandma used to do that. Like every time. Yeah. So we it's weird growing up with certain things. Like people be like, you want some iced tea? And you're like, why does this taste like this? I'm like, oh, they just put the bags. Like, that's not how you make tea.
Right.
You put it in my grandma had the little jar with the little, the serving things with the little thing at the bottom that leak in most places. She used to have a couple of those and she'd put the bags in there and she'd sit it outside. And we'd be sitting there, we'd be waiting. So she used to be like, I'm going to set it out there like the night before, like early in the morning. So it can, by the time y'all get up, it'll be ready. Man, it's the best tea in the world. Ain't no tea better than that.
Yeah, I had a friend. She had a big glass jar with a lid on it. Almost like a pickle jar, like the big pickle jars. Fill it with water, put those tea bags in it, lock it up, and just sit them outside in the yard for the day.
It's just something different.
The sun just kind of... Yeah, it kind of cooks it.
It's like a slow, super slow steep. It's the difference between baking chicken and baking chicken slow and low. It is. It tastes more summery to me. I don't know if it's just because my childhood memories are tied to it or whatever, but
sweet or unsweet?
Well, sweet, but not. I don't want it bitter, but I also don't want it like have tea, have sugar. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want syrup in the bottom of my tea. All right. Let's see. What is the next event? I know I have my event coming up on May 24th, but we got some other events coming up.
On June 7th, we have a paint and sip at Harlow Hotel from 4 to 7. Then a comedy show from 8. Doors open at 8 until whenever we get out of there, which is probably going to be somewhere between 10 and 11.
Mm-hmm.
Because that just depends on, socializing time after the show and stuff like that. But yeah, it starts with the 2 cent pre-show open mic, and then the Acting a Fool comedy show. And I think Quest One is DJing. Q hosts one show, G hosts the other, and then we'll be at the Paint and Sip before that. And then we're there all day. Me, Kennitha, and G are there all day. And the Paint and Sip, it was $50. But I'm in the process of redoing the flyer, dropping it to $40. And then, but if you buy 2 or more tickets, and it's a $35 ticket price on that. So yeah, that'll be June 7th. But first, we gotta go to the candle making class. Is it a class?
It's gonna be kind of a workshop. You'll get to select your fragrances. So I'll have my wax warming up. I have a couple different size vessels and colors of vessels. So you'll get to pick a vessel that you want. And then you'll get to select, I think, just up to 3 fragrances. And so it's simple, I think, as the person who wants the candle. I'm still trying to figure out a way to make it so that you can smell each fragrance oil without having to have them all open, because that creates a lot of scents and smells. But also not a wasteful way. But you can smell the different scents, and then you'll select your 3, and then I'll have to take that to the back and mix it up. So in the meantime, I think the process for the customer or the consumer is going to be pretty simple. You get to pick your vessel, pick your fragrances, fill out this card, and then we'll take it in the back and we'll mix it up and blend it. And it takes about an hour and a half for the candle to cure. So during that time, there'll be an opportunity. Either you can go for a walk, you can go get a coffee. I mean, we'll be in a coffee shop. They have a decent selection of coffees and teas and food if you want to eat. We're also right next to, we're downtown. So you can walk right there on Patton Parkway. See all the flowers or whatever is outside. It's nice. And go for a walk, or you can decide to pick up a canvas and paint. I'll have some pre-drawn canvases for sale during that time for people to choose, and they can paint if they want to wait. So it'll be just an experience, something to do, get outside, go downtown, and then you'll have this candle that you created that you can take home. That should smell like what you want it to smell like.
And what time are you doing this?
It's going to start at 4. I'll get down there to set up a little early, but the candle process will start at 4. We'll go till 7. And so it doesn't take that long to select, the fragrances that you want in the candle. It's just a matter of waiting for it to cure and dry. Yeah.
I'm excited. I want to make a candle.
It's going to be fun. It's $45. And that honestly is, it costs a lot of money to make candles. So that's what the cost is going to be, $45 a ticket. And yeah, you'll get to customize your own candle. Hopefully you like it. You selected the fragrances.
Right, you chose that. Have you ever done one of those perfume making things? We did that a long time ago. Picked out some fragrances. The thing is, I'm glad I know what kind of stuff that I like and what kind of stuff I'm allergic to. Because some people are making fragrances and they're like, this didn't come out smelling like I thought it was gonna smell. And I was like,
yeah.
Like I like natural stuff. So I was like vanilla, sandalwood, and something else I can't remember. And I was like, ooh, I like this. Like I can wear this.
Yeah, you got to kind of have an idea of what you like. There is, I'll say, I have a fragrance. It's supposed to be vanilla. It's called Very Vanilla. It smells not at all like a vanilla to me. It smells like feet.
Okay.
And I don't know why, because vanilla smells good. But this, and I'm like, that's different brands. It's a very popular brand, but I don't like it. But somebody might like it. I don't see that one ever getting used, but
But have you made a candle with it?
I think I used it one time. I don't think I ever burned the candle.
Oh, so I wonder if maybe the fragrance smells like feet.
But I couldn't do it.
Maybe you mix it in and then it's like, it burns and it smells like vanilla.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why it would smell like feet.
I don't trust nothing that smells like feet.
Yeah.
It reminds me of my brother.
Okay.
When we was growing up.
Trauma.
It is. When we was growing up, he was that person that had stinky feet. Like when he walked in your house, if you had a house where you didn't allow people to take off your shoes, he was not allowed to. You wanted them to take their shoes off upon entering. You wouldn't have let him take his shoes off. Because it was going to make your whole house smell like his feet. It was not good. Yeah. And so that smells like feet to me. And I want to, maybe I should give it to my brother. Is that me? Okay, I'm just joking. Ha ha ha. I won't be mean. It's Mother's Day.
That's Mother's Day. You can do what you want to do.
I might make him a candle smell like vanilla. I might ask him how it burns. I want to stress you out.
Nope.
So come make candles with me.
Yes.
I think what I'm going to do, this is an idea, and Renauda doesn't know this yet.
Okay.
But I'm going to, after this candle making experience, I want to figure out how to be able to take one of my wax warmers and some stuff with me to our sip and paints or to something and have an opportunity for people to make a candle at an event. Especially if it's somewhere where we're going to be sitting there for a long time.
I was going to say, they do come to where if you like how we are, if you're there, right at 4 or whatever, and you paint, you could be done enough with your painting to, or even
you can
start with a candle
prior to,
and then go paint.
Yep. So that could be an option. Maybe some small candles.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna make it portable. I'll take my candle making skills everywhere with me. So if you're interested in really making a candle, come to one of our events.
Yeah. This is what we do to each other all the time. Like, I haven't told them yet, but we just be like, okay. No,
we got sense. This thing on Sunday and we are all going to be there.
Like, or you coming to blah, blah, blah. What? I told you about. No, you didn't. Oh, well, we blah, blah, blah.
I meant
we hella do that to each other. Like, oh, yeah, well, we're doing this. Oh.
Yeah, so if you had any previous plans, cancel them.
Yeah, because I signed us up for this. It was just like with the movie thing. My friend Maddie posted in one of the groups that she runs the link for that. And I called Kennitha and she ignored me. So I was like, okay, that's fine. I'm just like, I don't know what she's doing, but I'm just going to sign her up and, let her know I signed her up for these movie tickets at this time. I also called Ari, but Ari answered this time. It was only one of my friends ignored me that day. One of the two. And, so I was telling Ari about it. She's like, okay, well, I'm about to call Mizzy and blah, blah, blah. So she was working on getting all their people. And I was like, I was waiting and I was like, she didn't call me back. And I was like, well, maybe she's busy. And I was like, went my phone. I'm like, which email I'm going to use? And I was like, went put it in there. And I was like, I signed you up and put you in as Kennitha L at Gmail or whatever it is. I just put your email all out there. But so the reason why G and I are beefing is because when I went to go sign us up, there were no more 7:00 spots. The one that they signed up for was a 7:00 spot. So I'm like, oh, we all been trying to go see this movie and you signed y'all up for a 7:00 spot, which meant you knew about this before I did and you didn't tell me. And you didn't even tell Kennitha so she could tell me. You just told her eventually that y'all was doing this. So that's why we beefing. So this is why we're beefing.
When you watch this.
Right. Because I'm a hella forget. I didn't talk to him like 6-7 times.
Right.
And forgot to tell him.
That's okay. It'll be over before you know it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. It's time for our gems. Gems. Oh, do you want to go first? I feel like I always go first.
Oh.
And I don't mind going first.
No, you know why? I think it's just because we just go in that order of, you be like, good morning. And I'm like, good morning. And then, I don't know. It just seems like that's the way it's supposed to go. But I can. Mine's quick. I just, I'm on the, prioritize yourself journey, bus, trip, whatever you want to call it. So that is my gem. In the sense of like, people think about that when they think about their health, right? Like, I got to get my health together. so I can, be here to help other people, or, I got to make sure I'm mentally well so I can be here to help other people. But when other parts of your life, like business or how you engage with yourself and stuff like that, are not a priority, you're really not showing up 100% for everybody else because you're distracted, even if you're not aware of it, right? So want to use that same put your oxygen mask on first type of thing towards the stuff that matters for you, your business, your family. I don't know if I said this before on here, but somebody told me a long time ago that somebody else told them, you need to picture yourself standing in your living room or wherever your front door is on the inside. Close that door. You got to work on the stuff that's in here, not literally. Well, clean your house up if it's messy, but not literally. I mean, like, you got to work on your focus is the people inside that house. Then you can open your door for others or whatever. So that's where, I'm at, focusing on, me, because what works for me works for my children. And if it's working for me and it's working for my children, then I have, that overflow, that abundance or whatever to work from. Not saying that I'm pulling back from helping anybody or being involved in anything, but just, prioritizing my shit too. Or first, not two, first. Like I said, I got to make some sort of motion towards my stuff before, focusing on anybody else's. And I think that's a lesson that a few of us in this room could learn.
Okay.
In this room.
Whatever. Don't listen to her. My gym today is embrace the transition. Be okay with it. I think you have to be more comfortable with being uncomfortable in order to grow. And that really is a thing. And a lot of times I think, not always, but sometimes we try to steer clear of the uncomfortable because it just feels so
uncomfortable.
Yeah. And but the reality is that all those uncomfortable situations are just opportunities for growth. And so realize that, recognize it, accept it, take it in, and just know that you're going to learn something from that experience, whether you feel like you're ready for it or not. And so just embrace it.
A lot of times that uncomfortable is just in your head. You let me take that back. Not in your head, it's you being in your head. And you as in me, like, us universally. But yeah, I like that.
Yeah. So thank you for joining us today. Hopefully you enjoyed this conversation. And yeah, that's all. There you go. It's your turn.
Okay. She ended that differently. Thank you for joining us on Talk to Them, where every story counts and every voice matters.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.